Thanks, everyone. My name's Karina Graeter. I'm the Sustainability Coordinator for the Southern Maine Planning and Development Commission. And prior to that, I was at the University of Maine in the Office of Sustainability there. So excited to be participating in this today with you all. Today, I'm going to be talking about how we can tackle climate change through regional coordination. And specifically, I'm going to give an overview of the regional resilience efforts that we've done at my organization, Southern Maine Planning and Development Commission, or as we call it, SMPDC. So to start off, I'll give a little bit of background about SMPDC. We are a regional planning organization that it serves 39 member municipalities in York County and Southern Oxford County. And we're governed by an executive committee made up of municipal staff from those communities. The purpose of our organization is to provide regional coordination and technical assistance to help strengthen municipal government, advocate on behalf of communities, leverage financial and technical resources, identify, investigate, and address regional issues. And historically, we've done that work in the areas of land use, economic development, and transportation. But more recently, we've begun expanding that work into sustainability and resilience. So SMPDC has, for over a decade or so now, done some on and off projects related to sustainability and resilience, specific projects on sea level rise, affordable housing, local foods, among others. But however, we only began to formalize our work on this effort in early 2020, so about a year ago now, with the creation of our Regional Sustainability and Resilience Program. This program was initiated when 6 coastal communities came to SMPDC with pilot funding to try and start up a regional sustainability effort to assist their towns with their needs for sustainability and resilience work. So the pilot funding allowed SMPDC to hire me as the sustainability coordinator, and for our coastal planner, Abby Sherwin, to dedicate some of her time to coastal resilience coordination. So together we lead the program with the mission to foster more sustainable and resilient communities by leveraging regional collaboration to enhance the effectiveness of local government sustainability and resilience action. So the timing of the start of our regional program couldn't have fit better with the development of the Maine Climate Action Plan, Maine Won't Wait. As Brian pointed out, strategy F of Maine Won't Wait is to build healthy and resilient communities. And the first action for that is to empower local and regional community resilience efforts. So our program is one of those regional resilience efforts. But then beyond our pilot program, SMPDC as a whole is trying to integrate climate change considerations into all of our actions to help build resilient local communities. So we can assist our member municipalities on climate action in the areas of land use, comprehensive planning, training, providing technical assistance, and linking folks to experts and resources. So outside of those broad categories I just mentioned, we wanted to really identify in our regional program what specific things can we do as a regional organization to advance municipal climate action? Where do we fit in between what's happening at the state level, what's happening at the local level, and how can we support all of that? So that's one thing we really wanted to figure out at the start of our program last year. And so to do that, we created a baseline regional sustainability and resilience assessment we called Getting There From Here. And the goal was to figure out how our program could be most effective to advance the priorities of our communities and to assist them with their needs. So for this assessment, we analyzed past, current, and future actions that our member municipalities had undertaken in the areas of climate action and sustainability across different sectors, including climate change, energy, coastal hazards, waste management, and more. And from this, we established a baseline of sustainability and resilience progress for the region. And we identified priorities and next steps for individual communities, as well as for the region to take action on climate change. So across all the different categories we looked at in the regional assessment, we identified some common strategies that municipalities have utilized to advance municipal action on climate change. And those, some of those are listed here. So some of them involve incorporating the action into long-term planning priorities, such as incorporating climate change considerations into the municipality's comprehensive plan. Having a specific committee that advises, directs, and champions efforts on a particular action. So that could be a sustainability committee, a solid waste and recycling committee, or a climate adaptation committee. Having outside funding available for work on a particular action, when there is funding available to support the municipality's efforts on something, that action is more likely to be able to be undertaken for the town. And that's the case for things like watershed management, which has a lot of funding through the Maine Department of Environmental Protection, or for installing EV chargers through Efficiency Maine's EV charging programs. And then finally, when actions have community partners that also help support the town's efforts on it, those actions tend to be more pursued as well. So that's the case of a lot of land management and land conservation actions where there are strong local land trusts that can support the town in pursuing those actions. But while there are many reasons why municipalities may be successful at implementing actions, there are also many barriers and challenges that prevent them from carrying out all the priorities that they may have. So for example, those are lack of municipal staff expertise, capacity and training on sustainability and resilience principles. Actions where there is low community engagement and participation tend to be stalled. When there's insufficient outside funding available to municipalities, it is much harder for them to be undertaken. Similarly, if there's lack of access to technical expertise and guidance, it limits action. And when there's minimal state guidance and directives that don't help push things forward. Limited municipal budgets are always a challenge for addressing things, as is the low prioritization of issues by municipal governing bodies. And then finally, there is often resistance to regulatory approaches that, while incremental, can be very important. So based on all those identified barriers and challenges, as well as the common priorities we found throughout our 6-town group for the pilot program, we identified several specific ways that our regional program or any regional program could help advance municipal climate action. And listed here are just a few of the ways and priorities we identified. And these are those type of actions that are going to be guiding the work of our program in the coming years. So they include analyzing community-wide greenhouse gas emissions for our region to plan and take actions on emissions reductions, understanding regional climate change impacts and developing plans with specific targets to address those impacts, facilitating regional efforts to procure renewable energy for municipal operations, providing technical assistance to support sustainable transportation efforts, ensuring municipal and regional climate change goals and priorities align and support the state of Maine's climate action plan, so making sure we're working in tandem together. And then finally, increasing staff and committee capacity for addressing sustainability and resilience in municipal operations. So a lot of big goals, but all of them very doable by working together with the regional organizations, the local governments, and the state governments cooperating together. So in my last few minutes, I wanted to take the chance to share some specific projects we've begun working on to address those regional priorities. The first of these is the Southern Maine Solar Collaborative, which addresses the priority of facilitating regional efforts to procure renewable energy for municipal operations. So as a regional planning organization, we have a long history of helping our municipalities with collaborative procurement of things like road salt or paint for road lines, all to try and get better pricing for the towns by working together. And so when the Maine's Net Energy Billing Program opened up to municipalities, we thought it made sense for us to try and purchase distributed solar, get a distributed solar contract for municipalities through collaborative procurement as well. So we are currently doing a collaborative procurement request for proposals for distributed solar contract for 6 municipalities in our group. And by working together, we're helping the municipalities get better pricing options on their solar electricity, reducing their staff time needed to go through the RFP process, and then also providing the towns with peer learning and support in this new sort of renewable energy world that is new to them. So right now, the request for proposals for this collaborative procurement is open, and we're looking forward to seeing how it goes and hopefully getting some great offers, helping these towns participate in Maine's net energy billing program, and hoping that if it works well, it can be a model that's replicated by other communities in our region or other regions in the state. Another project we're working on focuses on providing technical assistance for sustainable transportation. So in partnership with the Greater Portland Council of Governments, we're developing a municipal EV readiness toolkit. This is going to be an online resource to help Maine's municipalities adapt to Maine's ambitious vehicle electrification targets. And so it will include a municipal EV readiness assessment to help towns identify where they're at along the path to EV readiness. And it will also provide guidance on EV infrastructure, EVs and municipal fleets, and how to plan for EVs. And this is something that we hope to be rolling out sometime in late spring or early summer. And then lastly, we're also doing a lot of work with our coastal communities on understanding regional climate change impacts and developing plans to address those impacts. So through a number of projects, we are looking at coastal vulnerability under the different sea level rise scenarios that are recommended in the Climate Action Plan. And then based on those assessments, we're developing plans to try and be resilient and to adapt to the changes we expect to see. And we will also be doing other plans that focus on non-infrastructure, but rather economic and business-related resilience for storm hazards and future sea level rise. And then finally, we're just starting off a process with a broader region here in Southern Maine to do a regional coastal resilience plan, which will be the first in the state of Maine. And it will include specific nature-based adaptation strategies and solutions, which Pete Slavinsky will be providing some examples of in his presentation coming up soon. So with that, I will leave you here. I know that was a lot of stuff, but if you have any follow-up questions or ideas, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or to my colleague, Abby Sherwin. You can also stay up to date on what we're working on through our program on our website, and we have a bi-monthly newsletter that comes out with updates on all of our different activities. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I will pass it along to the next presentation.